mentally, were you okay?
Like in terms of it's funny. So like I think in some ways I was just blocked because I felt so physically unattractive. I was just blocking out. I would rarely look in the mirror. I like would just basically I shifted my focus from like appearance and just went entirely to like what can I do to like better myself as like an like intellectually.
You did
because
like the
I
ordered thing.
well, I didn't know what else to do because I was like, if I feel out of control in one way, I need to like grasp onto control in like another way. Which I guess is like, yeah, it is like it would be the better thing to do is like try to figure out. But it was so much so that I was neglecting like like I was becoming, and I don't think like, I think I am inherently a little bit more extra. Like I do like to talk to people. I like to be a little bit more extroverted. So like I was really tuning into like a new like introversion, like not like wanting to experience anything, like not going out. Every time it was like people had to like drag me to go places. I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to. It's not just like the bar. Like the bar is just like, I still hate that. Like I still don't like the bar. But like normal things where it was like, oh, this little like get together we're having, and like my mom would be like, come on. I'm like, Mom, I look disgusting. I'm not going.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, and she's like, no, you don't. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't have to lie about it. Like I can see, unless I starve myself from the morning, I'm gonna be bloated and I cannot go. Like it's because it's like not only did I look horrible, but like, or I felt like I looked horrible, but like I felt really ill too, like internally. So I was like, I just don't even know what to do. Like nothing, no clothes look good like at all.
And it's so funny because you keep saying look and look, and it's probably just feel. No clothes feel good.
They don't feel, definitely don't feel good.
Nobody else can see the feeling.
Yeah, it's odd because I remember like, so my brother's fiance, who I'm pretty close with as well, she's like, I've just been telling her recently, because like end of story is like, I do have a dietitian, so or like nutritionist, and she's like holistic, and I've been doing a lot of work, and like I feel like a lot better, and just like most of digestive issues have like completely gone away. And I was telling her, I'm like, oh yeah, I just like I feel like I look better, I feel better, I feel like more energy. And she's like, I never even noticed like when you were like heavy, it just did, like it doesn't seem like anything's really changed, like you still look like basically the same. And I was like, that's really funny, because I had like my guy cousin Neil, who you might have met.
No, but yes,
he came over to the house.
Wait, that's so funny.
Yeah,
I was like, why do I know Maryllen's cousin?
Yeah,
Neil?
he stayed over to the house. Yeah, Neil. Shout out. Yeah. He was like I remember because we went out to the bar that day for my 21st birthday, and I was like, I would like telling him about it, kind of like, oh, maybe he'll be like at the bar and I can just like stand there and like not say anything, but like be in his presence. And he was just like, oh yeah, I'm sure he's interested in you, something along the lines of like of that, where it was like a compliment, like a serious compliment. And I was like, like, but he's a guy cousin, like he's not making stuff up. Yeah. So I'm like, but like not really believing, because I'm like, no, I'm like hideous, like there's no way, like I can't. But things like that were like externally, most people were just like, you look the same, you're Maryellen, you look the same, like it's like whatever, maybe a few pounds extra, like maybe your face is a little bit round, like whatever it is. But then you have people like my grandma who are like easily notice like 2 pounds that you put on or something, and are like, oh, you've gained weight for sure, like you've gained, like, you know, that kind of, it wasn't said like that, but it was like, you've gained weight. And I'm like, oh, I know. Like, and I know.
I wonder about those people because I find that I don't want to say this to make anybody self-conscious, but I'm somebody that notices, but it's not because I'm like judging that person. Yeah. It's just because I'm like noticing myself all of the time. Yes. So like the up and down that I'm doing to myself, I'm like doing that to somebody else. And again, it's not this judgment. It's almost like, what parts of them do I wish I had? Yes. And so I wonder, like for your grandma, you know, was she noticing her own body her whole life? Because like the people that don't notice, is it because like they're not thinking about their body either?
Yeah, that must...
Because when I kind of like came to more healing with my body image, like I was less like looking people up and down. I'm just like, great, can't wait to talk to this person.
Yeah.
It's not like can't wait to see this person.
This human being with like a soul, and I know. Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Like I wonder if it is like, because I've too, like whenever I'm hyper fixated on like a part of my body or like my weight, it's always like, oh, like interesting, so has this person like also gained weight, or like are they losing weight, or like,
and how do they do that? Like, oh, I noticed they have this on them, like how did they get that muscle popping out?
Exactly. Like what, why do they look that way? That does happen. And it was like it could be something like that with her, where like as an older woman, it's like maybe you feel like sort of out of control with the way that your body has looked or starting to look, and there's might be part of that.
It's also
foreign people tend to do this a lot, though.
I was gonna say maybe being very blunt, like from an ethnic background,
blunt, and just like because she's like Russian, obviously, and just very like, I'm sure, and she's done it before with like people she'll see, like she's like, oh, that person's like overweight. I'm like, well, I mean, I not really, honestly, like just not. And even
so, let's talk about, speaking of body fluctuations and changes, what's your story there?
Okay, let's see. So starting I would say it started off mostly with digestive issues that I couldn't explain. And so like when that happens, a lot of the time, you like when you get like really bloated or like indigestion, it started off like really mild, where I was like, okay, there's like something going on, where I feel really specific, like during COVID in particular, like maybe 2019, 2020, 2020 probably more so. And I'm like, there's something going on here where I don't feel, I think actually before that I had tried like various like, but like more experimentally and never really consistently, I had tried various like restrictive like keto diet. I tried keto because it was like really like 2019, it was like when I got big for some, I think it was 2019, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try this, like see like how I feel, like what it does. And I definitely wasn't doing it properly, but like I did like lose weight, because it's like you're eating a lot less because you're eating like fat only, and you don't really know how to adjust that to your diet. But then like once you get into a groove, then you start eating normal calories again, and it goes back, like your weight kind of comes back up, and sometimes like, and then some, especially if you go back to like not keto and like just eating carbs, you're like, oh, and then there's like an extra like 5 or 10 pounds on top of that, because you're like not, your metabolism is not used to that.
And I imagine it's probably initially holding on to some water weight, and then body is like, oh great, carbs, let's hold on to this, because you haven't been eating a lot.
Because you've been fasting from like glucose and carbs for like however long.
And when I fast, one, like I won't be that hungry. Like I won't realize how hungry I am. And then when I go to eat protein, I'll be like, great, fine. As soon as I have carbs, I'm like, whoa, I'm hungry.
Whoa, that blood sugar is like, But so digest keto, and then kind of like bouncing back from that, because I was like 18, 19, and I was just like, oh, let's like, this is fun, like let's try this.
So what was the motive behind, again, maybe you already said it, but behind the keto diet again and doing that? There
was a little bit, I remember telling somebody that I was like, oh, I can just burn off this extra like belly fat or something, like it was like so I can be like more toned, because I knew I'm like relatively muscular, like kind of genetically, but also I'm like pretty active. And I'm like, oh, if I just burn off this, like you can see my abs or something, like something like that, where it's like you can see it, like
on a floorboard of abs,
like
popping
washboard.
Washboard. Thank you.
So I'm like, I just said it, like I hadn't even realized what you said. I was just like, washboard abs. The washboard abs. And so I was like, just this. And I remember like one of my friends being like, yeah, but like you're like, you just need to be in a caloric deficit to this fat. It doesn't matter like what. And I was like, no, like I'm just gonna try this. Like I'm just gonna do this or whatever. But also like being really at like 18, 19, like thinking I knew some stuff about nutrition, but actually being really ill-informed. Like just not really knowing at all like what. I think just thinking like, oh, I could just eat this little and whatever. Like, it's fine. And then like like it, but it wasn't like super. I remember it was like one of those ketos where you're like kind of eating like hot dogs and stuff, and it's like not with the bread, but like just eating like sausages, possibly like not the best kind of food where it has like a ton of preservatives and whatever. Like you probably want to be eating more whole foods if you're eating keto, just because like you're eating so much meat and avocado and things, cheese. You want it to be like relatively well,
nicely processed.
Exactly.
That's all you're gonna be eating.
Exactly. Yeah. And also making sure that like like actually your bowels are moving, because you're eating just fat. Yeah. And there were like a lot of days like where you can have broccoli, you can have avocado or whatever, but it's like you're not really supposed to have a whole lot. Yeah. So it's like there were days where I have like meat and cheese the entire day, and then I was like, why can't I use the bathroom? Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. But like still not really, because like I went through probably like my entire life up until college just like winging it, like always eating like what my parents, like I was a foodie in the sense that like I loved to eat and I had a big appetite, but I was also like pretty active and like I just like never cared. Like I would go to school, I would like eat breakfast, like cereal, and I'd like go to school and like have like 2 sandwiches because my friend never ate hers, so I'd like eat hers too, and like still just like normal body, like kind of took it for granted. It's like, hey, what? I can just like eat when I'm like hungry, and like
I think I don't want to say that not caring is the answer, because I don't mean not caring and then like somebody is just constantly, I don't mean not caring to the point of self-sabotage.
Right.
Like, oh, frick it, I don't care. Let me
Pop-Tarts in the morning, like every meal. Yeah, no.
It's like not caring to the point of where like you probably just like as a kid like listen to your body, and you probably had a routine. Like you wake up in the morning and you have like there's
or like to be said it was
your body follows that regularity.
Yeah.
And just like properly digested and managed, given if you give that what it's getting every day.
Yes. So, and I didn't feel like bad or like I was like gaining weight or anything, especially because like first of all, being in high school is a pretty structured routine. Yeah. So, and we were like, I walked a lot because my like train ride was really long, and then we had like, you know, we walked to and from train stations all the time, so there was like a ton of that. I wasn't doing a lot of consistent exercise, but my family's generally active. My dad like works out, so it was always kind of like, we should keep your like muscles like like, you know, just like keep them strong, like keep moving and all that stuff. And they always had me signed up for like sports and whatnot, so it's like generally pretty active, pretty healthy family, like my parents. And I don't know if this is like the case with you, but there is a disparity in like sometimes what my parents had said about nutrition and like what they actually do. Yeah. Wherein like they're eating normally. Yeah. But then they'll say things like, well, you can actually just cut your calories in half and like lose weight that way, or whatever it is. Like, or I can just eat like 1 egg and go the entire day.
It's funny that you say that I was literally told that.
Oh, I know.
I was like,
no, I know.
I was like a little gymnast. Like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Washboard abs. Yeah, they were popping out. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I just want to tone up a little bit. Mine was like, well, just have 3 hard-boiled eggs and take out the yolk for 1. And so I would do that, and she was like, have that in the morning, and you'll be great for the whole day. Like, you'll be sustained. I know what she means by that, because when I do that in the morning, yes, like my blood sugar is really level. Yeah. But I don't eat 2 egg whites. I'm eating like 4 full eggs now. Yeah. And it's like, I know what she means, but as a little kid, like I was not in tune with my blood sugar to the point where I realized the levelness. I'm just feeling stomach hunger. Yes. Because I probably, you know, I'm working out for 4 hours a day as a gymnast, and I was just eating regularly, so I was just like, my body was just using it up. I was just so hungry all the time, and I was like, why isn't this working? Like, she said it was going to work, that I just have to eat these like 3 eggs and I'll be good for like the whole day. But yeah. Back to like family, just it does have an impact. And I don't mean to blame my mom in any way.
No, that's like not my goal, because I love my parents, obviously.
Yeah, but certainly it has and my mom too, she'd be like, yeah, I just don't eat any carbs, and then I'd go home and she'd be eating chips, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. But like, why do you have to declare that you don't eat any carbs? Why do you have to say that? Is this a stamp of like moral superiority? Right. Because that's the way I took it, is, oh, Teresa then shouldn't eat carbs. She needs to eat healthy. If not, like, she's bad. Yeah. I just use myself in the third person. I'm bad. But yeah, proceed.
No, it was like a very similar thing with my parents where it was like my dad and mom like really pretty like well balanced. Like they eat pretty much everything. They let themselves have dessert. My dad's just like a grazer. Well, he'll just have like a little bit of everything, and it just like suits him. Like that's how he eats, and he's still like maintained like really good physique. Like that's and he's not like intentionally maintaining it. This is just like this is how he eats, and this is how like it's just pretty balanced. So they both like very, and I think I kind of like in the back, like being like a young person and not really caring about any of it, I was like, oh, I was just kind of doing what they did and what they gave me. Yeah. And it worked because they were giving me food and like they're packing my lunches. They're doing this for me. Yeah. And I had a big appetite, but it's like, okay, but if my mom's giving me like meat and veggies and rice for dinner, then I'm filled up and I feel good. Like, you know, and throughout the day, like eggs for breakfast, whatever. But then like getting older and then hearing them say stuff like, it was like, again, like incongruous with like what they were actually doing, which is like, oh, like, yeah, I can pretty much just eat this like one thing and I don't have to eat until dinner time. Or like, carbs actually like don't like, I wouldn't eat carbs. Like I just like, again, like I don't eat any carbs. Like it's, I'm focusing on fat. And I'm like, so I'm like coming to this point where I'm like considering keto. I'm like, well, like my dad and mom are always like fat is the way to go, you know, like, and granted, like our family does really well high fat. Like we do, I think like we eat carbs obviously, but like we like love like a lot of butter on stuff, and like we eat a lot of meat. Like it's just how we are. And there might be some of that that's like culturally and ethnically related to like, oh yeah, if you're like of Asian descent, you're gonna eat like way more rice, or if you're like Nordic, you're probably gonna eat more like salted fish and like high fat, because that's like what they were eating up there like all the time. So like I get the way that it could maybe be like fall into like ethnic lines or like genetic sort of basis. Anyways, so like again, that goes back to like no one size really fits every person, but just like there was sort of this like, it was just weird because it's like, oh yeah, like I observe the way they eat and it's like totally normal and balanced, but like the way they're talking is like, I mean I can have like, well, there were a few things I remember like hearing people say that I knew, like acquaintances or friends even being like, oh, I haven't eaten since this morning and it's like 5 p.m. And I was like, I've had like 3 meals today. And is there something wrong with me? Yeah. That sort of thing. Like, I'm hungry at like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and sometimes in between. So I'm like confused. Why did you not eat? And then like now realizing, oh, like, well, if you're getting a ton of activity and you're like lifting weights, you're going to be like hungry. Like that's part of like, that's how it works. Also, if you're taller, like I'm taller, I have like a little bit more muscle. Like I weigh more than a lot of my friends. It's like, that's like natural. Like that's how it's going to be. Your body uses up a lot of energy just by doing nothing. Exactly. If you have muscle and if you're tall. Yeah. So there's like so some people can get away with like, the other women in my household. So like my mom just naturally, like she doesn't do a lot of activity. Like we're working on it. She's going to get more exercise in, but she's like very petite and doesn't really like need to eat a lot. Yeah. At all. And same with like my younger sister is like small, like small. And she could probably just sustain her, as in like that's her nutritional value. Yeah. She doesn't move a lot. She's like very petite, like 5'1", 5'2", and like I'm like 5'7", and I have like like muscles and like, you know, it's like totally different like vibe. I'm also like always walking, like always moving. Yeah. But like not really like factoring that in when I'm like 19 years old or whatever it was, like being like, this is like, am I not feminine because I'm just like eating all the time? Like, you know,
so interesting. Yeah.
Like, is it not feminine? Like, is that a masculine behavior to like eat a lot? Because it's like, it's associated with men that they're like, their appetites are huge. Yeah. And in my household, my younger brother, who's the one who's getting married, he's 23, like he doesn't eat a lot at all. He's like struggles with like he loses weight and he struggles with gaining it. Kind of like the typical man thing, like, oh, I lost 2 pounds again. Like I can't. It's so hard. I struggle to put on weight. I'm like, here, let's switch places. Yeah. But it's like, so he like growing up, it was like, and I never really cared when I was younger because again, like this is just what my body needed. I was just like eating for. Yeah. But then like starting to get older, I'm like, why is my brother eating less than me? This is weird. Like. He's the guy, like he's supposed to be like the garbage disposal. Why am I the garbage disposal? Yeah. Why am I like, if people leave stuff left out, I'll like eat it up. Like,
I feel point of noticing tends to be the common factor in women, and I wonder if it is.
Yeah.
Like, where you should, like, I remember being younger, right? And same thing, I'm not thinking about what I'm eating.
Yeah.
I have a routine. That's what I do every day, and that's when I eat every day. And I do know the shift for me is when I quit gymnastics.
Okay.
Because that, I guess, I really did revere my physique. I got a lot of compliments on it, so like not in a good way. So that, and I attributed it to gymnastics. So I very much knew, okay, when I quit, we have to figure out a way to stay in shape.
When was that? Like after middle school, after high school?
That I was 15.
15, okay, so like mid high school.
So middle of sophomore year, I quit, and verbatim, I had the words in my head. Just now, you gotta figure out a way to stay in shape, and that just opened the floodgates. So I wonder, like, why there's no way. I feel as though it's like there's no way to avoid a young woman at some point. I feel like being impacted. Like, I don't know a lot of women with a good relationship with food.
I don't either. And it's weird because mine must have been a little bit later, point of noticing, just because I don't really know why. I think like this is just like a sort of side thing, but like in my family we tend to be like late bloomers a little bit. So like and that this doesn't mean that it's like, oh, it's like a coming of age thing that you have to recognize that my body has like it's, but it just seems to be like you were saying the case that like this comes to a point where like women are like noticing this.
Yeah.
And for a lot of women I've heard it's like high school mostly, and I even had friends who were like really concerned about stuff in high school, and I was like, I don't care. Like I literally could not care less. Like, what are you so worried about? And then being in like college, I'm like, oh
yeah, like
that's what it is. I see. And it might have just been like, for me, it could have been that there was just like no trigger for it, or that like mental maturity wise I like wasn't tuned into, like I was still a child until, or like a little kid sort of mentality until like early college, until I was graduated. But I had like a pretty close friend in high school who was always like, gosh, like don't look at me, like when we were like in the changing room or something, like don't look at me like I'm so like bloated or like overweight. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
would your mom ever comment on her own body?
I think occasionally, she's not actually, like surprisingly not as much. I think maybe now so more. Like she has had 6 kids, and she'll be like, oh, like gosh, I just need to lose some of this weight, but it's really not often, honestly. And she does look great, so it's like, I mean, still she'll find something to like nitpick about. Maybe like very infrequently, like she has varicose veins, so she'll like comment on that aspect a lot. And maybe being a little bit, but like also she has had 6 kids, so I'm like woman, you've like I think you've like deserve like that extra fat on you. Like I think that's okay. Like I think that's part of like mothering multiple children. But not a crazy amount. My dad, like not really. They're more like, how can we get like the muscle mass? Like how can we get like lean muscle mass? Like as guys, like how can we be strong? Like
I'm thinking about like a young girl, like what's the trigger where you look in the mirror and you're like, ugh, not cute. Like what?
Maybe it is somewhat other female members in your household.
Yeah.
Did your mom comment a lot?
A lot.
Really? Okay. So that might have been.
I knew that she didn't like the way that she looked, but I do imagine it's different for other women. I think too, for me, again, when I was young, I did get a lot of compliments on the way that I looked. And I definitely internalized them. A huge one. I was like in 9th grade, and I was sitting next to somebody in biology, and she's like, so-and-so thinks that you have a cute ass. And I was like, well,
really?
I lift weights.
Yeah, I'm strong.
And she was like, well, like, how do I get into booty like that? I was like, well, gotta do gymnastics. Like, I'm not trying to look like this. It just happens. And that, too, was a huge shift of like, oh, these boys are noticing me.
Okay. I see.
And so then when I quit, it was, now I have to figure out a way to stay in shape, or else I'm not going to be noticed because I'm really shy.
Yes. Okay.
So if nobody notices what I look like, they're sure as hell not going to notice my
My personality. Because I don't. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So it's so complicated. It's so everything. And I'm just thinking of like, okay, what if I have a daughter one day? Like, how can I make her like herself or not be so bogged down by body image and food and exercise, but like live a little bit more freely? And it's almost like it's just there's so many things that could come at you. There could be
so many,
you know, a comment. There could be that you're just a kid and you internalize it.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't blame any of the people that have
right.
it is
multifaceted. A lot of factors.
I didn't have the tools to internalize it properly.
Right.
I didn't know that it could potentially lead to spiraling down the road.
Yes, that's really, really interesting. I'm thinking like now, sort of like thinking out loud, but I wonder if hearing that at such a young age, maybe like, yeah, I like want, because I never like, it's not that I never got compliments, but I rarely got compliments like growing up or even in high school. I was also like pretty shy, and I was also like the goody two shoes. Mm-hmm. Everyone was like, she's too nice. She's really sweet. And like that kind of thing where I was like, why, what do you mean? I can be mean and aggressive too. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm like this with my family. But like, so it was not really noticed. I wasn't like, I was, like too very shy. I think like I've opened up into like way more of like a talkative, like more extroverted person as I've gotten older. But like when I was younger, it was like very timid. And high school, again, like I was a little bit better, but still like, I'm like, and I was exceptionally shy with guys. I think with girls, I could be like, oh, like no problem, girl. Like we're like besties. Mm-hmm. But with guys, it was like, I like shut down like no personality. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, if I'm not cute, then like, you know, but at the time, like I received very few compliments. I didn't get a lot of like external validation for the way that I looked, and not from too much from my family either, as in like, I'm not like blaming them. Like, I'm not like, oh, they like ruined my confidence, but like there wasn't a lot of like, some parents are like, you're beautiful. Like, you're so stunning. Like, wow, you look gorgeous. Like all the guys, like, I don't know how helpful that is either, but like, I didn't get that a lot growing up.
I didn't from my parents. They told all of us kids like, oh, you look so beautiful. Like, we'd get dressed up
like
and
you're cute. Like, you know, you're
like
very
walking around like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. But like comments from parents, friends of like, oh my God, you're jacked. Like, or, oh, you're diesel. You're so strong.
Because you had a very obviously like physically strong body. Because like, I mean, it makes sense because like you're doing gymnastics all the time.
Where it was like, oh, that's out of the ordinary. Like somebody seeing that would like comment. Like, they wouldn't comment that's out of the ordinary, but I think
it is. It's like you're a young girl who's like ripped, and that's like really remarkable. So and I wonder like, it's not like you would say you shouldn't give compliments to like a young girl about the way that she feels like strong, but maybe there are like better ways to do it.
It's just, I don't think, I'm sitting here trying to think of like, what is the way that you do this for your little girl? And I'm like, I honestly think it comes back to a biblical basis of, if you teach the principle of pursuit of vanity will lead to chaos, then whatever's coming from the outside world won't then make your North Star to look your best and to be to look your best. Yeah. If you're teaching your kid like principles with balance, whole foods, like, yeah, great. Okay, you don't like the way you look. How do you feel though? And like doing things for the sake of being alive and not doing for this thing's sake of, I want to look a certain way. Yeah. If there's some way you could teach your kid those principles early on so that when those other things do come in, great, they can take a little boost from it, but it doesn't then go and become the end all be all of their life.
Yeah. I think that like you were like, I mean, Christianity really like Catholicism, Christianity really like all about balance, like moderation, everything. So like even personality traits, like we say like you should never, like it's not like you want to embody like the wholeness of like one personality trait. You kind of want to like have them meet in the middle where you're like, it's not right to be like super weak or like super stubborn. It's like you kind of want to like meet in the middle and have like that balance. And it's the same with being kind of like attentive to the way that you look, wanting to present yourself well, but also like not like, you don't want to completely disregard it. It's important in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
How you present yourself, but it's also like, again, like most of the people you love aren't like, oh, Maryellen looks like sexy today. Like, it's just like Maryellen, or hopefully it's like Maryellen is like my daughter and she's a great, sweet person, or like whatever it is, right? Like she's really smart. And that's interesting because I was talking to my best friend recently about how like when I was at like my worst like body image, like internally, like the just like absolute worst, like probably highest weight, really ill in terms of like digestion was really bad.
Where did that come from? So I want to hear
like the progression.
So you did the keto
diet. Keto, and then it was I think it was after that, again during COVID time, I like experiencing like really bad like indigestion, and it was like mild at this time, and I was like, what the heck? Like I was telling my parents, I was like, this is kind of where maybe the bad nutrition advice sort of comes in, but I was like, I'm like really like, I get just when I eat anything, I'm like, I have indigestion and I'm like bloated. And it's not just like in the past, I had gotten like, I get like gas if I was like, if I drank milk or had ice cream, but it was like, oh, so I just attributed to like, okay, I'm lactose intolerant.
like great. I'm like everybody else.
Yeah. Like pretty much everybody else who becomes an adult and like can't drink milk anymore. So, and I would have like it would be pretty like, it wasn't terrible, but it would be pretty severe like that day that I would have like ice cream or something, which is not unusual. But like then I could like connect those dots, and I was like, well, if I don't have it, then I feel fine. And it's like, okay. Yeah. But this was like, oh, everything I eat is a problem. And there was a point, and I think it was 2020, probably summer, because I was babysitting these twins like as my like summer job. And I remember just being like, oh, when I eat less, I don't have digestive issues. Like if I eat like, and like again, like the numbers aren't really super important, but it like let's say to like feel okay.
Yeah.
And it was
Is this before or after you got COVID?
Before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering like
if it's like long COVID.
Like, is there something that like, was there something dormant that was like made manifest?
It's really weird. I
what
I still don't know to this day like what I work with like a dietitian now for like elimination, like just working on my digestive issues, because it was like so bad that I was like, I don't know. But she was like, I mean, it could be anything. It could be like, like women kind of go through like a second puberty, and you're like, oh, like I had never had acne in my first puberty like at all. And then like I got this like second like round of like hormones or something, and I was like, it was like not terrible, but I had like acne. Like a shift. Yeah. And I had like, I talked to some other girls who were like, yeah, I think I like went through like a second puberty where like my digestion just like I'm like, I was fine eating this, and now I'm like not fine eating this. But for me, it was like more than just like, oh, I feel bad when I eat these few, like if I eat like tomatoes and nightshades or something, like or like too much broccoli or whatever. It was like, oh, I like really like every single time I eat, I have this like weird like indigestion in my stomach. But if I like do a lot of cardio and I like don't eat a lot, then like I don't feel it. Yeah. But then it's like a vicious cycle, because the less you eat, the more bloated you get, and like the less you can use the bathroom, obviously. Yeah. And so that it was kind of like, well, you're just perpetuating it, but like not really having the understanding of like how to like deal with these things, like how to like, oh, maybe you can just like eliminate these things if you think they're bothering you, and like see how it like introduce them back in, or whatever it is. Yeah. And so like, and my dad was saying, I remember telling him like, oh, I feel like if I just eat less, like I feel better. And he's like, well, yeah, like it just kind of like validating that, like, well, if it like works, like whatever. Yeah. And again, like not maliciously intended at all, just kind of like, yeah, like maybe you were eating too much sort of thing.
He's almost like confirming your own thoughts.
Yeah, process. Exactly. Like my mom was kind of saying the same thing. Like
you might have not even been listening. Yeah. Like making your lunches, like kids' lunches. Yeah.
No, literally. Yeah, that sounds, I'm pretty sure he was walking out the door to work. Like I'm like telling, because I'm like always chatting with my dad. I'm just like, oh, I'm telling him like what's going on. Yeah. But like the same with my mom, I remember just kind of like ranting to her, and I'm like, when I eat like my maintenance, like on maintenance calories, or like what I feel like is my maintenance. And at this point, I don't know if I was like counting. I think I had like started tracking during keto, but like I didn't track properly. So it was like, oh, another thing. I feel like it's sort of relevant, but it might, I think it is. I have theories. I was having like protein powders, like a lot. Like protein powders, protein bars.
Was this new?
Kind of. And I was doing them pretty consistently. And it always, well, okay. I hadn't done them yet at this point. I did have digestive issues just from like whatever, I don't know. Yeah. So then I was eating very little. This is like an important part. So before the protein powders, I lost my period. Okay. Like 3 weeks in because I was eating so little.
From the keto diet?
No, from restricting because of my digestive issues.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wait, so was it keto digestive issues? Mm-hmm. Got it.
Keto, then like, yeah, experiencing or at least noticing clear digestive issues and being like, oh, because it was keto, then it was like back to kind of normal, and then digestive issues, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And but like mild digestive issues, so much so that like I could have probably fixed it with something like really simple if I had just like paid attention just normally to like what I was eating and like what I was putting into my body and how it made me feel. But I wasn't like super like into, I was just like, well, I mean, like this is what I've been eating my whole life, so like what the heck.
Yeah.
And then so then I was like restricting because of digestive issues, lost my period, so hypothalamic amenorrhea. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
for the proper term.
And I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, I was like doing research and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like if you over exercise and like you're under feeling your body, you're like your body isn't ready to have a baby, so it's just gonna like drop your period and not ovulate. And I was like, oh, and I was telling my mom and she's like, oh, you need to go back, you need to like eat a normal amount, like you need to snap out of it. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Like that was like, I was like, oh yeah. So I like went back to eating normally, but so my best friend had experienced something very similar, a little bit younger, but she worked at this ice cream shop with a bunch of other girls who are like really skinny, and she's like, well, if you're skinny, like I can get like way leaner, like that kind of thing, where it was like almost like compete, because the other girls were always talking about the way they looked. It's kind of toxic. It was like, well, you're always talking about the way you look, so now it infiltrates your brain where you're like, well, like yeah, clearly I'm gonna like start to think about. And so she like did this sort of similar thing where like, and she's very type A, she's like classic like INTJ like focus, where like it's like if I want to do something, like this is gonna happen and I'm gonna do it really well. Like I might not be better than you, but I can outwork you for sure. Sort of like mentality. And she's like, and she just like lost a bunch of weight and lost her period, and then realized like how much of an issue that kind of was. I think like the period losing, it can either be that like you're so misinformed that you're like, well, losing my period is a sign that I'm skinny, or it's like, no, losing my period is a serious issue and like I need to get it back.
Your menstrual cycle is, I just think, a great indicator of what's going on.
Yeah.
Of course, losing your period is a huge indicator that things are not
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Unless you're pregnant.
Yeah, then
you might be very okay.
Yeah, it's probably pretty okay.
Yeah. So long as you're healthy. But I just think your symptoms surrounding it are big indicators. Is it late? Okay, maybe you're stressed. Do you have really bad cramps? I think like people think that like you can't get rid of bad cramps.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things that you can do. And I know it's body dependent.
Yeah.
For me specifically, if I just consistently run leading up to my period, I will not have bad cramps. Like that works for me. If I have some sort of fast during the right window, my boobs will not get puffy or feel disgusting when my period comes around. Like, I don't know, it's just a good indicator of what's going on.
That's really,
it
that's
should never
really
be
interesting.
A sign of superiority over your physique.
Yeah. I've just heard women who've struggled with like hypothalamic amenorrhea say like, at the time that I was engaging in this disordered eating behavior, I took it as a sign that I'm underweight, which is like good.
Yeah. No, I do know, like, I can people that are,
but I know what
with,
you mean,
like,
as in
that
like
end of the disordered eating spectrum, where
kind of like
if your brain's not catching up to you losing weight, something that will tell you is if you lost your period, like if you can't see it in the mirror.
Right. And like a lot of these women might be experiencing more severe disordered eating behaviors like bulimia and stuff, where they're already doing things that, and so like viewing your lost period as like a kind of like superior, like something that's superior is maybe just part of that like disordered like outlook on food and whatnot. But like for me, I was like, oh, that's bad, like definitely shouldn't lose my period. It's like I knew enough about science that I was like, well, okay, so like I'm losing my period, and like women can get like osteoporosis from this, like young women, and like it'll affect your heart and like your brain activity. I'm like, your nails and your hair, and I'm like, well, that plays into my vanity a little bit. So like it's not just about like how, you know, your fertility, but which is also important. Fertility is a good indicator of health, obviously, but like it's not just like, oh, I might not be able to have a child in the future. It's like right here and now, this could affect like my health, like a ton about my health. So my mom was like, yeah, you need to start eating like that's like just eat normally. And I was like, okay. But then like so my friend who had done this, she had like when she had done it, she was telling me like, she's like, yeah, I just tried to gain the weight back like as fast as possible, honestly, because I needed my period back. And like she was just, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do something similar. And so I just kind of like, it did take me a few months, but like context is like prior to that, I had no like issues with my period. Like it was always pretty regular, like same time every month for the last, I got it when I was like 13, so like at that point until 1920. So I'm like, oh, this is like a weird experience to like not have it at all for like a few months. And then like just tried to eat like a whole lot to get it back, but like I don't know how to put this, ate like a little too much and gained like weight with that.
Yeah.
And this is when I was like starting with like protein powders and stuff. So digestion it must have been like a cognitive dissonance where I was like, I just want to eat these protein powders, so even if I feel like they might be causing me intestinal distress, I don't care, and I'm just going to eat them anyway. So it was making like my intestinal issues, gut issues, like worse, clearly, and I was still doing it for whatever reason. But I was like, also like when you go on Instagram and you like look at fitness influencers, they're all drinking protein powder, and they're all advertising them, and they're all like protein bars, like
and they
everything
look great.
Yeah,
so
they look like lean. They don't seem like they have they're never
Yeah.
bloated. I'm like, what's going on?
They're happy,
Yeah.
smiling. Yeah.
Like soup. Yeah, just like really lean, great. I was like, okay, so it's like if their stomachs can handle it, I don't understand why I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah. Was this like whey protein? Typically.
Yeah, like whey. And it's like the classic, like it has like sugar alcohols, which I think are like the bane of human existence and cause a lot of problems. Yeah.
I personally have experienced. Yeah.
I used to have these bars that were like, I forget which brand of protein bar. It was like maybe the One bars or something. And I would eat them and I'm like, oh, it tastes so good, or like pretty good, and has protein. It's like sweet and it has protein. It's like it gave me the gnarliest stomach issues after that, and I was like, I couldn't be around people. Like I had to like.
And I think
horrible.
The more whole foods you eat, the more you eat that like protein bars and all that kind of stuff, you're like, this is so artificial. Like,
I know.
This is kind of repulsive a little bit.
No,
I mean, I still have protein bars because they're good, but when I'm in like a good phase where I'm like treating my body as it should be treated, I'll be like, I don't crave that. I don't crave sugar. I don't want it. It sounds a little gross.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, your cravings really do shift.
Yeah, it's weird. It was like I was giving my body like a justification. Like I wanted to have something sweet, and because it was like protein sweet, it was okay to have.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you baked some cookies
and just ate them like normally,
probably have felt a little better.
Just like anything normal chocolate, like I don't know. I love dark chocolate. Eat a piece of dark chocolate. Like, be normal. Like,
be normal. Sometimes when I'm like in a bad way about food, I'm like, Teresa, just be normal. Just like have normal servings of things.
Yeah.
And like you'll feel okay.
You will. Like whatever it is, like just fuel, like, and not even in the sense of like a robotic, like fuel your body, like, but like you'll feel like just eat like a normal balanced, like whatever you see, like just looks right on the plate. Like this
don't
healthy
overcomplicate it. Like, you know the fundamentals, a protein, a carb, and a fat, and then walk away. Like, it doesn't have to be any more complicated
exactly
than that.
And like a little dessert is fine. Like, relax.
I think it's hard to say because I do think, like, I'm thinking of somebody who's like incredibly obese. If you were to just say, we'll just eat normal, it's like there's a lot going on in their body. There's a hormonal shift where normal might not necessarily be a balanced meal because just there's hormonally they're signaling for a specific type of food that's going to keep them in the cycle.
It's the same with telling them to eat like intuitively. Like they might not even know how to do that.
So it's hard to say just be normal, but I think for the person like you who are incredibly fit and the girl that's very fit and active, like saying just eat normal, like your body I think will naturally adjust to that. Yeah. And you have to reconcile with the fact that then maybe it's the degree of muscle mass that you have is maybe okay. Yeah. Like maybe you don't, and it depends on the goal. But for somebody I think who's trying to like heal their relationship with food, I think it's having to sometimes forego the physique for the sake of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And that might just be, well, just for a little bit of time, just be normal.
Yeah.
Be okay with the amount of muscle mass that you naturally will have by exercising, being fit, and just eating normally. And, like, see where your body goes and just allow it to go there.
Yeah.
Once your relationship with healed and you want to maybe increase some protein a little bit to build some muscle mass, because muscle is incredibly efficient at getting rid of sugar, so you're just gonna feel better when you do eat. Like, great, then talk about it. But I went on a little bit of a tangent there.
No,
but I just think like, sometimes we need to hear just like, you know how to eat.
Yeah.
Like, just sit down, eat what you eat. You like eggs, great, eat your eggs, your toast, and your avocado toast, whatever.
Eat your protein, whatever it is, 3 times, whatever, for 3 meals a day, 4 meals a day, and you'll probably hit your protein needs. Like, you probably will.
Yeah.
You'll feel it. Like, the portion of chicken that looks right to you, it's probably, like, hitting the need, like, it's meeting the needs that you know, for your, like, for the day. Like, that's probably it. And, like, supplementing it with, like, and I get it, like, again, there might be situations where I still don't think that the protein powders are well made. I still think they probably are just way too processed. And the sugar alcohols are like, no, I can't, like, like, physically cannot ingest them. But I think they could be more well made in the sense of, like, they could be natural. Maybe you could add, like, normal sugar or, like, honey. I don't know, whatever it is. Something normal that, like, again, like, be normal.
I don't know how researched they are, but do you know who Dr. Hyman is?
I don't think so.
He's, like, a holistic, he might also be an MD, but very much so. He, on his website page, he has a list of, like, powders that he's quote unquote approved. Again, I've never looked into them, but I do have one of them, and it's not a flavored one. But I'll just add honey to, like, my yogurt that I add a little protein powder into. And I'm not using the full recommended serving amount. I'm doing half. So I'm like, let's just supplement with a little bit and see how we feel. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. Like,
I've done something similar.
If you have a smoothie, have maybe an unflavored one with no sugar, alcohol, and then
fruit.
Add banana.
And banana's so sweet. It's so good.
It's, like, so unnecessary. Because, again, I do have, like, some protein bars, and I only just got this one that I just got, and I texted my sister the other day, and I'm like, remind me that I can never eat these again. And I was researching. I was like, can this protein bar, like, make your digestive have a whack? Because I'm like, what did I just eat? Is this the protein powder? I've been eating it for, like, a couple weeks. I haven't experienced this yet. And I, like, researched, can this protein bar throw your digestion for a loop? And it was like, the sugar alcohol's in it. So I was like, okay, great, never again. And yet the next day, I had one anyway.
That was my entire, like,
so
2020, 2021. It is. It's like justifying the fact that I just want something sweet, want to have it, and like, therefore it's not. And I see it's so funny because I see my siblings doing this all, like, especially my brother, where he's like, no, the nicotine is definitely not messing with my digestion. I'm like, okay, probably is though. And it's like, and like, my dad had just experienced something, like, pretty similar. I'm like, yeah, it's probably messing with your digestion. He's like, no, it's not. It's definitely not. I'm like, no, it probably is. Like, that's what it does. He's like, no. So it's just like, you want to continue it, so you're just not going to accept that it's, like, bothering you. And that's kind of what I was doing. And, like, again, it's weird because I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, I really want these digestive issues to stop. Like, it's really bothering me. It's making me sick. And I'm like, I've gained like a lot of weight, and I've gained a lot of water weight on top of that. And this is a COVID time. COVID time, but also then, like, coming back to school. And this goes on for, like, because then it was 2020, 2021. And then I guess I got COVID 2021, September. And then I come in, and I'm, again, like, this is the struggle where it's like, I've never had this much weight on my body in my entire life. I'm like, I've always just been, like, naturally, like, thinner. And never, like, I'm like, I took my body for granted. Like, it was just easily that way all the time. And, like, the heaviest I'd ever been, like, felt, like, bad, like, heavy, bloated all the time. I remember telling my cousin, I was like, I would be like, oh, I'm so bloated, I get so bloated. And she was like, one time it was, like, New Year's, and I wore like the same outfit all the time. It was like leggings and like a giant sweater because I felt horrible. So it was like whatever hid as much of the bloat as possible.
Yeah.
That's what I was wearing. And I remember being like, it was like New Year's Eve and we had like eaten a little bit or whatever. And it was like every time after dinner, it was like distension was insane.
Yeah. You could like have a maternity photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yep. My cousin was like, I thought you were joking about that. Like, I thought when you said you're bloated, it's just that when people say that, oh, I'm bloated.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like,
yeah.
This is like bloated.
Oh, and when my mom tells me, oh, you just have to suck your stomach in.
Oh.
I'm like, honey,
this is not going anywhere.
This is not that type of suck your stomach in. It's not
it's
like
hard.
I'm just
Do you feel
hanging my
this?
stomach out. Yeah.
It feels like there's a baby in there.
Yeah.
like 6-7 months pregnant type of like, it's bad. Like, and she was like, they're like, oh my God, like, they're pushing that out. I was like, I'm not pushing this out.
Yeah.
This is like resting Maryellen, not sucking stomach in, not even trying, like really. And that was throughout 2021. And then I had, like, again, this was, I feel like absolute, like, I'm not even attractive in any way. There's no way.
I'm just thinking like something, and maybe this is not true because I can't speak for a guy, but when somebody likes you, like, they just see you as pretty. Like, you really see yourself as gross.
Yeah, they do.
Like, they see the whole of you if they, like, purely like you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like, of course, somebody who's just attracted, like,
physically.
Even that is nuanced
even that,
for
yeah.
me. Like, there are some men that I'm attracted to, and they wouldn't be objectively considered probably attractive men.
Yeah.
Something about their disposition.
It's like the vibe or, like, whatever they seem to be giving.
Confident, the way that they interact with you. You know, those guys that could, like, flirt with. You were ugly when I walked in here.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving here and you're 10.
I came in, I was like, oh, my sister might find these guys attractive, but they're not attractive to me. Like, and then, oh, I'm in love. What?